Hi friends, welcome back. We have got an exciting new project for you. If you haven't guessed already, it is an easel. So you can put your artwork on this lip, you can work on your artwork, whatever it is, you could use it as a photo frame. The back of it is hinged so that it can stand up like this, it can stand up all the way straight, however you want it to be. So I'm gonna show you here how to put it together, and then you guys will have fun making your own, and you guys can do whatever you want with them. So let's get started. Let's see what we got in this bag here. We've got our card that you may have already gotten to the QR code to get to this video. We have got two funny little pieces with holes in them. Got a string, that's exciting. Let's get this big piece out of here. All right, we've got a big board with two holes in it. Another board with two holes in it. A board without any holes in it. A dowel. You guys have seen these before in some of our projects. And a tiny, tiny little screw eye. And I'm gonna throw that trash away. I'll pick it up later. So we've got this tiny little screw eye. And I think we're gonna set that aside for a second. I think where we're gonna start is we're gonna start with these two blocks with the holes in them. So these two blocks are what actually goes in these two slots on the board. This one's a little tight, but it'll fit. And so what these make is these make the hinge for this. And so how we're gonna do that, you'll notice, take a look at them and take a look at how the holes are lined up. A few of these are hand cut, so the holes may not be in the perfect center. But that's okay. So then you're gonna take this stick and you're going to decide which end you want up and down. It doesn't matter. And you're gonna put this dowel in this stick, and it may be a tight fit, it may be a loose fit. And this one, it's a little loose, so I'm gonna add a little bit of glue. What we're making here is we're making a hinge. And I only want the glue, really don't want the glue all over. I really only want it so that it glues it into this piece. And if you can get away without using glue, it's probably a better idea. But this one, the hole's a little loose, and I don't want the pin to fall out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at these holes and try to line them up so that if they were side by side, you could look straight through them. Now this one you can't, these holes aren't perfect, but that's okay. So these will go on here, and now you've got a hinge. But we have to figure out how we want to connect them to this board in these recesses. Now with this project, it's simple enough. You can put a little bit of glue in there, stick them in there. They should hold tight enough while the glue dries, they'll be good to go. However, you could also decide you want to nail these in. Now if you're going to nail them in, you're going to have to nail them from the front, which is the flat, smooth side. And you're going to want to make sure you get them into these holes. So there's a couple ways you can do that. So we'll take the opportunity to show you that here. So the first way you can do it, if you've got a drill and you've got a drill bit that is smaller than the nail you want to use, because remember, you want the nail to still go in tight, you can take that and you can drill this, drill it all the way through, and now I can see the hole on the other side, and I know that I want this to go through this hole, and it's going to come right into the middle of this. The other way I can do that is with a tape measure or a ruler. Now I've got one here that's got metric on one side and imperial on the other. So since we're in the US, I'll use the imperial side. And what I can do is I can put this up to the edge here, and I can measure over, and I can read that, this one's kind of hard to read because it's got some tiny, tiny little lines. But at about 2 3/4 of an inch, that starts, and at about 3 1/2, it stops. About 3 1/4 is right in the middle, or a little less than 3 1/4. Then I can look at it this way and I can see that, oh, 1 inch is right in the middle. So if I flip it over, now I have to remember I'm coming from the other side now. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna do 3 1/4, then I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna mark 1 1/2. And I know right there where that X is, I can drive a nail through there and it's gonna come right in the center here. So let's do this both ways. I'm gonna go ahead and put glue in because I want glue to hold it, and you can use any kind of glue you want. Set this aside for a second. We're gonna push these in here. Now we want this all as one assembly. It doesn't have to be, but it's easier if you do it all as one assembly. Otherwise, you've got to line it all up and push the dowel through. And I'm gonna tap this down with a hammer. Now you'll notice my holes weren't perfectly lined up in these blocks. So if you look at this, you'll see that this dowel, or not dowel, the dowel is crooked in here, causing this stick to be crooked. But that's just the stand, so it'll be okay. It still holds up straight and down. So I'm not gonna worry about it. But I am gonna come through here. The other thing we wanna take note of is how long is our nail? Because we don't want our nail going all the way into this dowel if we glued the dowel into this stand. This nail's a little long, but I think with where I have the holes, it'll be okay. And I'm just putting that flat so when I run my fingers over it, I don't feel anything. It's not sticking above the surface. Now this one, we didn't pre-drill a hole, but you'll see the nail still goes in just fine. And my nails cleared my dowel. I'm in good shape. So I'm happy with that. The other thing we're going to do on the back is if you look at the bottom of the back, there is a tiny, tiny little hole. It's hard to see, but it's right there. That's where this little tiny screw eye goes. And so I can put it in there and I can push down and twist it with my fingers. You may need some help to get started. If I move this out of the way, a little trick is, like I say, I can twist this with my fingers, but if you can't, you can take a little screwdriver or really anything that'll fit in that hole, and now you've got the leverage of the screwdriver to put it in there. You wanna make sure you don't go all the way down because you don't want it to poke out the other side. Now what this is for our string. So one end of our string goes in this bottom hole of the leg, and just tie whatever kind of knot you know how to tie. There's a lot of different ways to do this. You can pull that tight, and then the other end goes in this little eye hook, and we tie this, and you're probably wondering, what in the world are we tying a string on here for? So I'm going to show you in just a second. If I can get this one tied. So we tie a string on there so that this leg can only go back so far. Now you don't have to go back all the way. What that prevents is that prevents us from having this back here, putting something on it, and it slipping and falling. So now with this one, it can't go back any farther than that. So we've got one piece left. This piece is the shelf that goes on the front, and there is no right or wrong way to put this on. You can put it on wherever you want. I am just going to use a little bit of glue. Smooth this glue out with my finger because I don't need a ton. Remember, it's just like school glue, it washes off. Then I'm just going to put this on here and get it on here straight, and I'm going to push it down. And I could clamp it, but I'm just going to let it sit like this overnight, and it will be strong enough for anything I am ever going to put on there. The other thing I can do, I can take my ruler. That's 1 centimeter there, and that's 1 centimeter there. It's perfect. I can also check the sides. It's a little farther to one side than the other, but I'm okay with that. So now, I've got my very own easel, and all I've got to do is paint it. This would actually make a wonderful photo frame. This is 8 by 10. This would make a wonderful photo frame, would make a wonderful paint canvas, would make a great gift for your parents. You could paint a picture or take a picture of yourself and put it on here, and voila, you've got a Christmas gift for your parents or whatever. So I hope you enjoy this project, and let us know what you think about this one and show us your pictures of your completed project. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.